Hello everybody, this is Hybrid, and today I'll be reviewing Batman issues number 1 through 12, and also the annual as well, aka the Court of Owls, you can call it. But yeah, basically, yesterday when I went to buy comics, because I do my Marvel reviews on Wednesday, and by the way, I'm gonna do Scarlet Spider today, maybe with White Sheep, I'll see. But then I realized there's no DC comics that I actually review that come out tomorrow. Like, I do buy DC comics still, and if you want to know all the comics I'm buying and reading, it's because there are a lot. Go check out Comic Book Cast podcast that me and White Sheep were on, episode 49, I believe. So yeah, go check that out. It's a pretty long list of comics. But essentially, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should start buying Batman. Because I was, every once in a while, when I go to a comic book shop, I look at them, but I never actually bought them for myself to actually, have and later on be able to read again. So I thought, hey, why not? So I added the whole series to my cart and I bought it. And I thought it was actually really good. I'm not surprised really because the writer it's Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. I think that's how you say his name, and they're pretty good. And I gotta admit, this is a Batman I want or I've waited for really because they make sure that they show him as a detective. They explicitly state, like, when he first started getting into this, even before he was Batman, he was always being a detective. And by that I mean after his parents' death, he got into it, and he was a detective first, and then he became whatever else he was secondarily to his detective work. And I really do enjoy that because for some reason, in the modern interpretations of Batman, a lot of the people behind those interpretations seem to forget the fact that Batman is a detective at the core, and you can't leave the core of the character out because then it's just a hollow character. So I do enjoy that. They also added all the other things regarding Batman, like the whole martial artist thing and etc. He does have his gadgets, but they don't show him off as often as you might think they would. Instead, they kind of show more non-gadget Batman, I guess, if that makes any sense. Except for they show his Batcave, which I do like because usually comics they don't really show the Batcave. They just show Batman in front of a computer monitor and kind of just brooding there, you know, doing what everybody assumes Batman does in his free time. So, but overall, with the Night of the Owls, it's a very great concept, and it's a concept that couldn't have been done so wrong. Except they did it right, and that's why I have to hand it to them. There are, in total of the whole Core of the Owls thing, 13 issues. Issues 1 through 7 are kind of like introduction issues to the main event, which happens in issues number 8 and 9, and also branch off to the other Bat family members, such as Nightwing, uh, Batman and Robin, Batman the Dark Knight, Batwing, Batwoman, I think too, Red Hood and the Outlaws, and that one more title. I for some reason that if I I can't remember it, but it will come to me maybe some other time. Except eventually, basically, those are the kind of core titles. Those two, and then we go to issues number 10 to 12, and 12 is really more of an epilogue to the whole series in general, or not series, but to the whole storyline in general. And there's actually, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a very, very interesting plot twist, which I think anyone, fan of Batman or not, will enjoy, especially me, because as someone who is so diehard on preserving like a character, if they're doing a kind of relaunch of the titles or a relaunch of the character and not a total reboot, in this case, New 52, I don't consider it a full reboot. I consider it a half reboot because they decide to reboot whatever they want and not everything. But anyways, I'm really big on, if unless they're doing a full reboot, staying to the core of the characters, respecting the characters' histories, and etc. So when they did this kind of reveal at first, I was like, wait, that kind of goes against the history of this character, or of the characters that are involved in this thing, which is hard for me to say without spoiling it. But then reading, I was like, but I really like this. This is really good. I'm glad they did this. So you're, as a fan of Batman or not a fan of Batman, especially the real Batman and not Nolan Batman, you should really like this whole comic storyline, Court of the Owls. Owls, the Court of the Owls is a great, like I said, it's a great concept, and done right is great. And Snyder shows, his writing shows that if you do write a great story, it will be great, even if it's a long storyline. Because usually storylines are like 3-4 issues. This one was 12 issues plus an annual, so that shows that they had no problem really fleshing it out, and they really tied it into not only Batman but Gotham. They tied it into Nightwing in a way you might not expect as well. Oh, and read the Nightwing issues. I review them as well, and I highly recommend those. So overall, I must say I really enjoyed reading this, and I can't wait for the next issue. Overall, I give it a 9.5 out of 10 because it's really great overall. And also, I recommend you be comfortable with flipping around pages at times, like rotating them and whatnot, because in one of the issues where the Court of the Owls takes Batman and puts him in this labyrinth, he kind of goes a little bonkers, and to show that he's kind of gone a little crazy, they actually have it so instead of it reading right side up, you have to flip it and kind of read it upside down and then sideways and etc. So it's really cool things they do with the series that, it just, that little extra flavoring at the end, you could say, really makes it sweet when you finally, get it and you read it. So yes, a 9.5, and I'll see you guys later. This is Hybrid. Please subscribe, comment, and like, and there we go.